If you want to join us, you can. 216-578-1007. 800-348-1007. You can send me a text. That is 35192. We were talking about Halsey before. I said she was 23. Somebody texted, she's 25, dickhead.
Yeah, Alan.
Okay, she's 25.
How dare you?
So, people get really, really upset with the minutia. But I always appreciate devotion to accuracy. If you listen to the show on iHeartRadio, by the way, from out of state, tell me where you do that. If you're outside Ohio, Roger listens in Atlantic, PA. Jared and Kelly are in Greensburg, PA, east of Pittsburgh. Justin is in Prairieville, Louisiana. Rough place to be right now in Louisiana. Kyle is in Kansas City, Missouri, not Kansas. Wally is in Albuquerque. Let me find a weird one. Claude is in Surprise, Arizona. Anyone ever been to Surprise, Arizona?
No, but it should
We've been to Goodyear.
It should be on the border. Like, you should cross the border and be like, surprise, Arizona! You know?
You're now leaving Surprise, Arizona.
Here
Surprise!
Surprise!
Robin is in Toronto. Jake is in Sun Prairie, Wisconsin. Ryan is in the aforementioned Seattle, Washington. So there you go. If you want to leave us a message, if you're not able to join the show live, you can call any time the mood strikes. The Alan Cox Show After Hours line, that is 216-986-8903.
Hey, Alan. This is Mike out here in Golden, Colorado. Still out here working on third shift. Hey, I recently heard you had a Fair Play caller, which I think is very strange. I used to live in Alma, which is the town right next to Fair Play. And when I lived there, I met all 12 residents of Fair Play, and they are super weird. I don't know if it's just one inbred family or what, but you should definitely keep an eye on that character. That is very strange. Oh, and I'm 34 years old, and Amy Acton is a smoke show. Well done. Good judgment, sir.
Yeah, of course. Of course she is.
I guess I just don't see it.
Yeah, Mary, because you have eyes that operate independently from each other, like
chameleon eyes.
Like an iguana.
Chameleon.
Yeah, chameleon. Yeah, all right, thank you. There is Mike in Golden, Colorado, evidently with some pre-existing beef with Fair Play. We got a call from Danny. He's in Fair Play, Colorado. He watches the show on YouTube. And he called in a couple of days ago, and he's like, yeah, man, much love. Everybody remembers when Danny called in from Fair Play. Who knew that there was some kind of beef between Golden and Fair Play? I always think of Johnny Fairplay when my wife used to work on all these MTV shows back in the day. This guy, Johnny Fairplay.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, she knew him for a while because... But Danny in Fairplay, Colorado. And then that's Mike in Golden. Still out there working third shift. So thank you for listening. Listen, everybody enjoys Cardi B's coronavirus, right? She's got a lot of play off of the coronavirus.
Coronavirus!
Right, that was, listen, that was just, I'm sorry, that takes a little bit too long.
Coronavirus!
Better. You know, she did that Instagram video and it went crazy because in the earlier days of this whole thing, she's like, how the hell did the coronavirus get? But she's done videos with Bernie Sanders before because she's real. This Cardi B.
Using her platform.
She's using her platform. And I'll tell you what, they're trying to get her out there to talk to people about the census. She's the new star of the PSA from NYC Census 2020. The census is very controversial to some people because I guess everything now, no matter how mundane, has a group of people who find it controversial. There are some people who want to weaponize the census so that they can undercount people of color. And so they're getting Cardi B out there in New York. I don't know if they had to explain the census to her. I'm sure when they first sat her down, she's like, I got 5 senses. I know. Taste, touch, smell, you know. And they were like, no, we got. So
got
I don't.
6 senses.
6 senses.
Her 6th sense is being annoying.
Oh, rap.
Rap is her 6th sense.
Coronavirus!
Yeah. Even though it's Nicki Minaj who first hit the 100 million mark.
She's been around longer.
And congratulations to her.
Yeah, she's been around over a decade, right?
Who knows?
Yeah.
There's no way to know.
I would rather, and
I prefer Nicki Minaj.
at the risk of being whatever, not sexist, I'd rather look at Nicki Minaj than look at Cardi B. I find them both to be relatively scintillating personalities, but I find Nicki Minaj to be more attractive. She's just curvier and she's juggier and the whole bit.
Faker.
Whatever. Although she did have the balls to marry a pedophile. So I don't know if that puts her in the pro or the con, just for the balls alone. It should put her in the con column. To the best of my knowledge.
But she loves him.
Yeah. To the best of my knowledge, Cardi B is not felon adjacent. Although maybe. What do I know? So they've got her doing census PSAs out there.
2020 es una gran oportunidad para hacer que nuestras voces se oigan. Este año
Wait, you guys understand that, don't you?
Yeah.
Is the translator going through the YouTube? Okay,
tenemos
good.
el poder de determinar el futuro de nuestra ciudad, no solo para los
What
próximos.
I'd like to know is, do you think she's given him more of the real in the Spanish version? Like she's saying things that if you don't speak Spanish, you don't know what the hell she's saying. right?
Terminate the future of our something.
Terminate the future. All right, there you go.
I'm serious.
Okay.
New York City, 2020 is a huge opportunity to make our voice heard. This year, we have the power to decide our city's future, not just for the next 4 years, but for the next 10 by getting...
Now, here's the thing, too. Because she is who she is, this is an important message. They've chosen someone who all her fans will pay attention. But she also has... her fingernails are doing social distancing from her fingertips.
They're so long.
They're about 6 feet long, and
She
it's
has
very
to close
distracting.
her hand.
It's very distracting.
Yes.
I know that's the style.
It's not really.
Her fingertips have to go down to her palm.
Well,
in order
I
to
assume
close
that
fist.
I
her
assume
hand.
How
that
does she?
But I assume that someone like Cardi B would be on the forefront of style and fashion. So as dopey as it looks, I imagine that this is a thing. Maybe in New York it's a thing.
How does she give her boyfriend or her husband a?
She married?
Yeah, she's married to Offset.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
How does she give him an old fashioned if she has those nails?
Well, what is it?
That's
Bourbon,
bourbon,
vermouth, bitters?
Yep.
Yeah.
No
Rocks glass?
vermouth. No vermouth.
No vermouth.
Vermouth.
No vermouth.
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 Vermouth is in a Manhattan.
Oh.
And do you know why? I think I've done this before on the show.
I
It's,
probably forgot.
212 is the area code of Manhattan,
Oh,
right?
two
And
parts.
It's 2 parts bourbon, 1 part vermouth, 2 dashes of bitters.
I thought that the drink predated the area code.
Well, that's a way to remember it. That's how I was taught to make it.
A little mnemonic device for you.
212.
All right. What if they change the area? There are other area codes in the New York Metro.
Well, that's not how you make a drink.
Okay. Well, my area code is 312.
Okay.
Right? Growing up, and still my cell phone number is a Chicago area code. And when I make a Chicago drink, I just remember 3 parts Malort, 1 part Sport Green Relish,
Okay.
and 2 parts
Celery salt.
celery salt.
Yes. See?
It's
there you go.
delicious.
Or 2 parts
in the census. This
thick pizza.
Thick pizza.
2 parts thick
cheese.
pizza. Yeah, 2 part. Could you blend up that thick pizza for me?
census is about power, money, and respect for our communities. If our city is undercounted, we risk being underrepresented, especially our communities of...
Now, see, I think she's saying something different to the people who can speak Spanish. She's not talking about terminating the future to us.
It was too quick. She might have said determine the future.
color. In 2010, only 62% of New Yorkers responded to the census, with the lowest response.
Listen, man, given the climate, coronavirus aside, given the climate the last 3 years, I wouldn't blame one single person who was darker than Ecru for not filling out the census. They're like, I don't want anybody knowing. It's a vicious circle, because if your community is underserved, financially, federal funding and whatnot.
Is the census every year?
Every 10 years.
Every 10 years.
I got my thing in the mail.
I thought it was every 5.
It's every 10 years.
Huh.
rates in our black and brown communities. In 2020, I'm going to tell you something. We can let this happen again. If you want to stand up to the status quo and defy people in power who wants to silence us, start by getting counted in the census. The census is safe, easy.
The amazing thing about this, all off the top of her head.
Wow. See, I told you she was smart.
She is. She's pretty brainy.
For everyone. And remember, the citizenship question is off the census, no matter what anybody...
See, to me, she's this generation's Rosie Perez. Real cute, but then she starts talking and you're like, Poppy, no thank you. No mas.
tells you immigrants with or without papers count too. Mi gente presente. Go to my...
Mi gente presente.
Mi
That's
gente
what I'm saying.
presente.
Mi gente presente. Terminate the future.
Yes.
Hashtag terminate the future.
Octothorpe.
Octothorpe. Terminate the future. So they've deputized Nicki Minaj, or Cardi B. I can't tell them apart. Cardi B to get out there and to tell people about the census.
Coronavirus!
And the coronavirus.
Coronavirus!
So, boy, everything starts with C. Cardi, coronavirus, census. They're getting her out there. Little known fact, she's a huge fan of alliteration. So think about that.
Then she should be Cardi C.
I guess she should. But this news broke a little while ago, but I heard them talking about it in the WTAM newsroom, that the House had voted and sent, they passed that $2.2 trillion coronavirus relief package.
Stimulus.
I know that they had one lone Republican holdout from Kentucky who all of a sudden seemed to get a conscience about debt. But obviously, this is the biggest relief package ever from Washington. Some people say it's going to have to be the first of many. Again, I don't know where the hell all this money's coming from, but if it goes to people who need it, families and businesses and whatever, then that'll be a good thing.
What makes you qualify for the $1,200 that you get?
It caps off, because people were telling me, they're like, you don't like Trump, so you're going to give your money back? I'm like, well, A, I don't qualify. B, if you're a Trump supporter, you shouldn't take the money either, because that's socialism. And you don't want that. You're not going to take that handout from the government, are you? It's amazing how many Trump supporters are all of a sudden closet socialists. But I don't qualify. But it's like if you... $1,200 for, I think, most people who are going to need it, and then like $500 a kid or something like that.
Yeah, I saw it's $1,200 for every adult. I didn't see any stipulation though.
I thought it was under $70,000.
Yeah, it
$70,000.
caps at 99. So I'm not sure what the breakdown is on it.
It caps at $99,000.
Yeah,
I wonder how many six-figure people lost their jobs. Is it just like the worker bees, like everyone who makes?
It's mostly the worker bees. I mean, boy, if you want to bring a tear to your eye, look at the unemployment claims.
I saw.
Oh God, it goes straight up. Ohio is among the worst states too. So I hope this, by the way, brings into sharper focus as many people who have said, when Bernie Sanders was really riding high for a while, and he's not getting out yet. He's still out there trying to make something happen. But for all these people who are like, Medicare for all is crazy, how would we afford it? Yeah, well, we came up with $2 trillion. So it's amazing how many things become affordable and not crazy anymore when everything grinds to a halt. So for people trying to make the case that your health insurance shouldn't be tied to your job, I certainly hope that, this becomes more possible to you. All these people who lost their jobs and also lose their benefits, you can't go on like that. So I think the whole thing makes a really, really good case. Even if you were on the fence for Medicare for all, makes a really good case for that. Because they're always like, well, people like choice. People like choice. Like, well, yeah, okay. But these people didn't have any choice when they lost their job. If you lose your job but don't lose your health insurance because it's not tied to your job, that makes a lot more people not freak out.
And when you have
people
a
are
job,
freaking out because they're losing. I mean, pandemic aside, obviously it's magnified a millionfold because it is a health emergency. But even if there was no health emergency, people freak out because if they lose their job, they lose their health insurance.
They have to the end of the month. It's not so bad.
And then when you have like the whole choice thing has never made sense to me, because you have the choice that your employment offers you, which is not
it's
a
a
lot
false
of choices.
choice.
It's not a lot of choices.
No. So we'll see. And listen, there's another pandemic coming. We don't know when, but stuff like Ebola and the avian flu, they're just one airplane ride away. So I hope that everything that needs to be done to get this thing under control is done.
It won't.
Well, we don't know that. Listen, man, I'm trying to be glass half full. There is no upside in being pessimistic about it. There's none. No upside. It is day after day. It is unrelentingly bad news. So there's no upside to not trying to be optimistic about it.
So this pandemic is spread because of hygiene things like washing your hands and how you cough and just things like that. What's going to be the next pandemic, and what are we going to have to do better? Where people are like, who wasn't washing their hands already?
Testing. They're going to have to figure out testing.
No. I mean, like, what's the, like, if I'm just like a hypothetical pandemic that is spread by like not flossing or something like that.
Oh, not flossing. Yeah. By the way,
Like, something that we should all be doing already, but people will have to put out PSAs and be like, hey,
Wearing deodorant.
yeah, if you guys would just wear deodorant,
That's
this
where you
pandemic
come
would
after the
stop.
environmentalists, like they were talking about.
Yeah.
The guy who blamed coronavirus on environmentalists. That's where the deodorant
stop
comes
rubbing
in.
crystals on your pits.
Hey.
Get some Old Spice.
Come on. Coronavirus.
Patchouli equals virus.
Yeah. By the way, all this money that they're sending to people, you pay taxes on next year, or they remove it from your taxes next year. So it's not like
Yeah,
they're just
it's like a
giving
loan.
it to
Free
you.
money, yeah.
It all comes out later on. Okay, I'm going to have a copy of MLB The Show for you, closer to 4:20. If you have a PS4, it's the closest you're going to get to baseball in a while. And then 4:30 is your next shot to grab some money to help pay your bills, so you won't have to wait for one of these checks to get in your mailbox. So $1,000 just about every hour. Next one coming up around 4:30.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. And everywhere you go.